Hello everyone, Good for the Win here, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at the brand new mini box that dropped called Clash of Wings. So if you haven't already, go ahead and log in. You get 500 gems for free. It's pretty much their tradition with new box releases. So this box has a few, well, at least one new archetype, and I'm not sure if it's another completely new archetype or if it's more support for an archetype we already have, and a little bit more support for other archetypes that have like one or two monsters in the game. But so we're just gonna go ahead and look over the cards here real quick, just kind of see what we got. So it is a mini box, so there are 80 total packs in this set. So we got 160 in rarities, plus 70 Rs, which is 130, and then plus our 8 super rares and 2 ultra rares will give us 140 cards total in the box. I'm sure that is not 140, 240. Hey, look at me. All right, but anyways, we're just gonna jump right in. So the cover art for the box here is Alector, Sovereign of Birds, as a winged beast. If your opponent controls 2 or more face-up monsters of the same attribute, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, you can target one face-up card on the field that target's effects are negated during this turn. There can only be one face-up Alector, Sovereign of Birds on the field. So yeah, this box seems like it's wind support, but there's not really too much wind support in the game, which is kind of weird. But it is what it is. I don't expect this card to see much play, if I'm being honest, but it's here. And our other ultra rare is going to be a trap card, Widespread Ruin. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy the attack position monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. And if it is tied, it is your choice. So a battle trap, probably a little too slow for monster removal, but I mean, you can still remove a monster. This is another one I don't think we'll see much play, but then again, we are moving into a little bit of a slower meta, it seems, so I don't know. We'll find out. So now we're going to go into the super rare. So first one we have is Blowback Dragon, which has been in the hands of Bandit Keith for quite a while. Once per turn, you can target one card your opponent controls, toss a coin 3 times, and destroy that target if at least 2 of the results are heads. So we do have a little bit more, I don't know exactly what to call this theme, but I guess like the gun machines or whatever, but a little more support for them. So here's one that I know we have at least one Mecha Phantom Beast card in the game. It was in one of the other boxes. I think it's Hamstrat. But Mecha Phantom Beasts, they rely on tokens, and their biggest monster was an Xyz monster back in the day. Super expensive during Dragon Ruler format. But basically, you detached material to summon tokens, and as long as there was tokens on the field, you couldn't destroy Draco Sack. Probably some more stuff, but Mecha Phantom Beast as an archetype really didn't shine too well, so probably because I feel like they seem a little slow. But when this card declares an attack, special summon one Mecha Phantom Beast token, which is a machine win level 3 with 0 attack and defense. This card's level is increased by the total levels of all Mecha Phantom Beast tokens you control. While you control a token, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you contribute 1 token, then target one monster your opponent controls, change that target to face-up defense position. So, really kind of slow for an econ, and you can only do it, well, no, it's during either player's turn. So, I mean, here's your econ replacement. But, I mean, it is going to take up a lot of space. Just doesn't seem like it's going to be that great, but we will see. Here we have another Mecha Phantom Beast. We have Mecha Phantom Beast Mega Raptor. When a token is special summoned to your side of the field, special summon one Mecha Phantom Beast token. Which is also Machine, Wind, level 3, Tag 0 Defense. You can only use this effect of Mecha Phantom Beast Mega Raptor once per turn. This card's level is increased by the total levels of all Mecha Phantom Beast tokens you control. While you control a token, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, you contribute one token. Add one Mecha Phantom Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Alright, so we have the Mecha Phantom Beast Searcher. So, I don't... One reason why I don't think the Mecha Phantom Beast will be that great in Duel Links is because of the limited monster zone size. I just don't see it really playing well to their strength, which is tokens. Because you gotta have monster zones to have tokens. So I mean, to get this card's token summon to activate, you already have to special summon a token, which, if you already have a Mecha Phantom Beast on the field to summon a token, then you can't use this card's summon effect. But I don't know. It's gonna be weird. Alright, so next we have more psychic support. That's one archetype we have more support for. So more psychic support. So we have Silent Psychic Wizard. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one psychic type monster in your graveyard, banish that target. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, special summon that monster banished by this effect. So it's a 1900 beater for psychics, which with the Firm as Earth skill, going to be a pretty decent beater. Plus it can float into monster of your choosing, basically. As long as it's in your graveyard, so I can see it going with Serene Witch, kind of combo in that way, but we'll see how it plays out. We have Wind-Up Juggler, so we're actually starting to get a few wind-up monsters. After damage calculation, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster. This effect can be used only once while this card is face up on the field. So, another form of slow monster removal, but still monster removal. It's kind of a trade depending on what skills you're running and whatnot, but there it is. Now, this is the new archetype that is in the game. It actually just recently came out in the TCG, like IRL. So this is Beat Bladesman for Hire. So fair warning, they have screwed with the problem-solving card text for this for hire punt. So be warned. During your main phase, you can special summon one monster for hire from your hand, except Beat Bladesman for Hire. If a monster for hire is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, except during the damage step, you can add one monster for hire from your deck to your hand, except Beat. You can only use each effect of Beat once per turn. So this archetype is going to, I think a lot of people are kind of early they were comparing them to Sylvans in the fact that they're based on swarming and popping, but the thing that kind of makes them a little more fair than Sylvan's pre-ban is that if you kind of stop what they're doing early enough, you can probably still control the game. I don't know how good the recovery is. I know in the TCG they kind of go all in, but once they do that, they don't really have many follow-up plays. But with Duel Links, with the limited field in hand, maybe you'd have more resources. You wouldn't burn them all as quickly. It'll be interesting to see. I expect this deck to see quite a bit of play, but I mean, I'm going to build it. I'm going to try it out myself. So stay tuned for a deck profile. But we're going to keep moving here. Mistaken Accusation. Now this card is actually pretty interesting. It is a quick play spell card too. If your opponent has more total cards in their hand and their side of the field than you do, target one face-up card on the field. Neither player can activate cards with that name or their effects for the rest of this duel except that target. You can only activate one Mistaken Accusation per turn. So this this definitely seems to be like a catch-up card. but you have to be pretty far behind, and it depends on exactly what you're going to be targeting with this card as to whether or not it's going to be good. I don't know, it is an interesting effect. You can lock your opponent out from using a specific card for the whole duel, which if you do it right, that could really swing the game in your way, but I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go. So next we have W, Nebula, Meteorite. So this is worm support, actually, which we have a bunch of worm monsters in this box. And they seem like they're going to be a pretty interesting archetype. I feel like they might be a little too slow, but like I said earlier, the meta is going to be a little slower, so they might actually see some decent play. And this is another one. I think we have more monsters before this box in the worm archetype, but I'm not too sure. But anyways, change all face-down monsters on the field to face-up defense position. During the end phase this turn, change all face-up light reptile-type monsters you control to face-down defense position. Then draw one card for each. After that, you can special summon one level 7 or higher light reptile monster from your deck. So this is probably going to be a staple 3 of in worm decks. Worms, if you're not aware, they rely on flip effects. So you're trying to flip up all of the monsters you can. Plus, this is going to actually give you some draws off of the flipping. So not only are you getting your monsters effects, but you're getting cards in hand. Plus, you can special summon a level 7 or higher light reptile monster from your deck. I'm not sure how many worm monsters fit that bill, but this is definitely going to be an interesting card. I very, very highly expect this to be a 3 of in worm decks. So here is a, a higher than level 7 worm monster, Worm King. Fun fact, the worms actually have a worm monster for each letter of the alphabet, so there's like A, B, C, D, all the way through Z. So, but Worm King, this card can be tribute summoned in face-up attack position by tributing one reptile worm monster. You can tribute one reptile worm monster to select one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So a little bit of a 1-for-1 for spot removal. Just basically a big beater. I'm not really sure how good he's going to be, but we'll see. So here's another for hire monster. We have Wiz, Sage for hire. If this card is special summoned, you can gain 500 life points for each monster for hire you control with a different name, except Wiz. When your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or effect, quick effect, you can discard one card for hire, negate the activation. You can only use each effect of Wiz once per turn. So this is actually pretty decent, because she has a quick effect, which is a negation, which there's not too much negation in Duel Links right now. Not a lot of easy negation. The biggest ones, they're a lot of it's a lot of discard a card. So this is probably in line with how things are playing anyways. But it's not a trap card, it's a monster card. It has field presence. Plus, it is a 2800 booty. So, I mean, probably going to stay on the field for quite a while, depending on what the decks are able to do with it. Next, we have Worm Victory. It's a flip effect monster. Destroy all face-up monsters on the field except reptile-type worm monsters. This card gains 500 attack for each reptile worm monster in your graveyard. So, probably a decent one of. If Restart wasn't getting nerfed, this might be a decent 30-card Grass is Greener deck. I'm not sure. It depends on how many of the other worm monsters really rely on them being in the graveyard. Next, we have Dinah, Hero for hire. If this card is special summoned, you can banish cards from your opponent's graveyard up to the number of monsters for hire you control with different names. Let's see, banish cards. Okay, so this could potentially screw with spellbooks a bit, because you can banish the resources that they might want back. You can only use this effect of Dinah once per turn. Monsters your opponent controls cannot target monsters for hire you control for attacks, except this one. So, kind of like an Amazoness Tiger, in a way. Plus, also able to banish cards from the graveyard, which is not too bad. Not too bad at all. Worm Warlord. This card cannot be special summoned. Negate the effects of effect monsters destroyed by battle with this card. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it can attack once again in a row. That's actually not a bad effect. You kind of got a few more attacks depending on, well, you're getting rid of monsters, you're negating their effects when they're destroyed, so kind of like Ancient Gear Beast, but you're getting more attacks as long as you're destroying monsters, so that's pretty cool. Seal Strategist for hire. Once during your main phase, you can special summon one monster for hire from your hand, except Seal. If a monster for hire is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, you can target one monster for hire in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Seal once per turn. So this is probably going to be a definite 3 of. This one and Beat are probably going to be 3 ofs, I would think. Maybe Wiz too. I'm not sure. Wind Up Knight. When a face-up wind-up monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack. This effect can only be used once while this card is face-up on the field. So, negate attack. Donpa, Marksman for hire. During your main phase, you can special summon one monster for hire from your hand, except Donpa. If a monster for hire is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, you can target one face-up card on the field, destroy it. You can only use each effect of Donpa once per turn. So, here's Recon, Scout for hire. During your main phase, you can special summon one monster for hire from your hand, except Recon. If a monster for hire is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, you can target one set card on the field, destroy it. You can only use each effect of Recon, Scout for hire once per turn. Definitely a decent card there. You can target this is Wind Up Bat. You can target one Wind Up monster in your graveyard, change this face-up attack position card you control to face-up defense position, and add that target to your hand. This effect can only be used once while this card is face-up on the field. Here's the other, the gun dragons, whatever they're called, support here. So it's Gatling Dragon, which is a fusion for Barrel Dragon and Blowback Dragon. Once per turn, you can toss a coin 3 times and destroy as many monsters on the field as possible, but not more than the number of heads. So you basically get to destroy a monster for every single head you flip. Pretty easy to understand. Mayhem for hire. Target one monster for hire in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. You can only activate one Mayhem for hire per turn. Aerial Recharge. Once per turn, you can special summon one Mecha Phantom Beast token. During each player's end phase, tribute one token or Mecha Phantom Beast monster, or send this card to the graveyard. So this is a way to get Mega Raptor's effect off without having another Mecha Phantom Beast on the field. So there you go. Sonic Boom. During your turn, target one Mecha Phantom Beast monster on the field. This turn, its attack becomes double its original attack. It is unaffected by other spell or trap effects. Also, if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. If this effect is applied to that monster, destroy all machine-type monsters you control during the end phase of this turn. Other monsters cannot attack during the turn you activate this card. So that kind of... I don't know. It doesn't really seem that great, to be honest. Mecha Phantom Beast Cal Griffin. You contribute 2 Mecha Phantom Beast monsters, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Cal Griffin once per turn. While you control a token, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, you can discard one Mecha Phantom Beast monster, special summon one Mecha Phantom Beast token. So, Worm Prince. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add to your hand one reptile-type worm monster from your deck. Destroy this card during the end phase if you do not control a reptile-type worm monster other than this card. Worm Gulfs. Each time a face-down defense position monster is flipped face-up, place one worm counter on this card. This card gains 300 attack for each worm counter on it. I thought more of the worm monsters were flip effect monsters than this. I guess not. Worm Rakuya. This card can only declare an attack the turn this card is flipped face-up. If this card attacks, it is changed to face-down defense position at the end of the battle phase. Psybeast. When this card is normal summoned, you can remove from play one psychic-type monster from your deck. This card's level becomes the level of that monster. So there looks like they're kind of gearing up for synchros here. I think Psychics are more of a Synchro archetype to begin with, so. Stinging Swordsman. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, return all face-up cards in your opponent's spell and trap card zones to the hand. Not too bad. Probably not going to see much play, though. Worm Hope. Here's another one. When this card is flipped face-up by an opponent's monster's attack, draw one card. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Huh. That's kind of a specific activation cost there. During your standby phase, by paying 300 life points, select one non-monster card in your graveyard and return it to the bottom of your deck. So, that's really slow and bad. Scramble, scramble! If your opponent's monsters on the field outnumber your non-token monsters on the field, tribute any number of Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. Special summon an equal number of Mecha Phantom Beast monsters from your deck. Shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. You can only activate one Scramble Scramble per turn. I very, very seriously feel like this archetype is going to be severely hindered by the limited monster zone size. Vertical Landing. Tribute any number of wind monsters except tokens. Special summon an equal number of Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. You can only activate one Vertical Landing per turn. Armored Glass. You can activate this card when a monster is equipped with an equip card. Negate the effects of all equipped cards on the field during the turn this card is activated. Equips are not that big of a deal right now, so probably not going to see much play. Do a barrel roll. When a spell card, trap card, or monster effect is activated, tribute all Mecha Phantom Beast tokens you control. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So we have another negation card. But I mean, Mecha Phantom Beasts, they're getting quite a bit of support. But I don't know. Psychic Soul. Tribute one psychic type monster you control. Gain life points equal to the level of the tributed monster times 300. I mean, Psychics do use life points quite a bit, but do you really want to tribute off? Well, I guess if you're trying to send Serene Psychic Witch to the graveyard, maybe. But, kind of niche. Supernatural Regeneration. Activate only during the end phase. Gain 1,000 life points for each Psychic type monster sent to the graveyard this turn. So if you're sending a lot of Psychics to the grave, this is going to be a decent trap card. Training for Hire. For all your training needs. Thank you, Konami, for all the puns. If a face-up monster for hire you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can target one of those monsters, special summon one monster for hire from your deck, whose level is lower than that target's original level. You can only use this effect of training for hire for all your training needs once per turn. World Suppression. You can activate this card when a field spell card is activated, negate the field spell card during the turn this card is activated. Unfortunately, a lot of field spells are activated through skills and kind of just start at the beginning of the duel, so not that great of a card. But that's the entire box we got there. So thoughts on it? I definitely think for hire we'll see the most play. Man, Worm's got a pretty good trap card, but the monster lineup they got in this box is just kind of lackluster, honestly. I don't know. Like, because if they had more flip effect monsters with good flip effects, this card would be amazing for this archetype. But I only saw like 2 flip effects, and none of them really stood out to me. But we do got, well, let's see, we got more Mecha Phantom Beasts. I really don't think they're going to see much play because of the limited field size, unless they maybe decide to up the field size by 1. That could be an interesting change to the game. Very well could be possible since synchros are around the corner. We got worms, which don't really seem that great. Windups, which not a lot to work with right now. For hire, which I think is the best looking archetype from the box. And I think that's pretty much it. Everything else is just kind of tech or just kind of out of the way, like Blowback and Gatling Dragon. But there's the box. I'm going to be opening it here in a little bit. I'm going to make a video on how to best utilize your box resets, kind of the mentality you want to go for, and how to kind of save your money the best you can. But that's all I got for you guys today in this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of some of the archetypes in this box. Do you think some of them, a lot of these archetypes haven't really seen much success in the TCG, but we've all seen it doesn't really matter much in the realm of Duel Links. So what do you guys think of these archetypes? Do you think they're more Duel Links ready than they were TCG ready? Let me know. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.